What's up, everybody?
What's up, Russ?
How you guys doing?
Great.
Good first day. Great first day.
Russ, you've been at this a long time, but you've got a new coach, new team,
Yep.
new offense, everything. Is your head spinning a little bit at all as you make this transition?
No, not at all. I think that super focused, lasered in. Everybody's so locked in. You know, it's been, for example, we got an early morning walkthrough with the guys, just me and a bunch of other guys, and just getting that work in. Just guys are lasered in, ready to work and do everything that we've been doing all OTAs, all summer. Even in California, we're putting the work in, just that bonding time and everything else, and it really showed today. Defense looked great, offense looked great, special teams too. So it was just a great first day to be where we are, and to have a new head coach like Coach Hackett and just everything else. We're so far along, and we're going to be really prepared. And that's a tremendous attribute and just acknowledgement really to our leadership of guys. Justin Simmons, K-Jack, just so many other guys. And then even for the new guys coming in, DJ Jones, and just him coming in up front, what he means to us, and then obviously our receiving core and what those guys have been putting in, obviously with Corton and Tim and Jerry and those guys leading the way. I think also too, you saw Javonte, you saw Melvin Gordon run the rock today, how intense they are and how they practice at a championship level. We got a championship caliber football team, and we're excited about that. And so I think the exciting part about it is that now it's time just to go show up and prove it and go do it. Well, I think the work just from the day one I got here, really. We've been spending so much time here. When I was here in Denver, we got extra time just to ourselves. We would get together, spend extra time, go through plays, whatever. Guys get here early. The dedication is where it's really at. And then you go into the off season, guys get away a little bit, and then come back, and then just spend that quality time again for that another week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Just spending time really zoning in and focusing on the details. We're so far along, and the relationships and the bonding is so strong as well.
Russell, I know you've been here through. Welcome the kind of forced team bonding by being in a hotel, especially with it being a brand new team for you.
Yeah, I think that obviously for us to be together, we're here till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night at times, sometimes even later. And so for us just to share that time to play cards or to chop it up, to have breakfast in the morning, whatever it is, have dinner together, those are always amazing times.
Were you nervous at all before today?
I don't get nervous.
Okay.
What about just the newness of this? I know you've had your time with the guys on OTAs, but first day of camp, how much are you enjoying just the freshness of it all?
I just think newness is always great. I think, anytime you go into something new, you got two ways to look at something. You can look at it with fear. You can look at it with, nerves. You can look at it with, okay, what's this going to be? What's this going to mean? Or you can go own it and go take care of it yourself and go do it with a bunch of great guys. And that's what we're doing. And so we're all in this thing together, and we're pumped and excited to do it, and hopefully bring a championship to Denver again.
You talked about how great.
You've accomplished a lot, and you've been doing this a long time. How do you like to? What kind of working relationship do you want, or do you like with a coach?
Well, I think Coach Hackett and our bond is so strong. I think our communication, his understanding of the game, the whys of the game, the history of the game. He's a guru at it. I love studying the game like crazy too. Going all the way back to days, way back in the day, with the West Coast offense and just studying that too as well with Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, those guys to studying just how we do it and what we're thinking about and why the whys. Every meeting, every detail is about. Every practice meeting, everything we do out here, there's a reason, and so just setting that up, and it's been fun. It's been a joy to work with Coach Hackett. It's been a joy to work with Coach Alton. It's been a joy to work with Coach Kubiak as well. Those guys are brilliant.
Is it kind of cool to you that the West Coast offense evolves, but you got some history. If you look back into history, Montana did some of the same stuff.
I think that Our game is so expanded in what we were able to do out here, and I think we have those core principles and everything else, but yet we're also able to do pretty much anything, especially with our line up front, how those guys look up front. That solidifies everything, and then you have the running backs and tight ends and receivers to do it. Those guys make me look halfway decent.
Could you talk about your personal team of coaches there, Russell?
Sorry, one more time.
Personal team of coaches with Jake Heaps, and where do you find time? How do you schedule your personal coaches, around the team?
Well, I think first of all, that, for me, I've always been about, the extra work. If somebody says, you got to do, X amount, I triple it. You know, that's just how I've always been. You know, so for me, you know, I get up early. I'm here pretty early in the morning. You know, 5:15 in the morning, getting extra work, whatever it may be, going through plays. I think that obviously, you know, you go throughout the season. All you know, it's a 365-day job. This isn't a thing that you just do something where you're out here for 6 months, 7 months, and just get out here and just play games for fun. This is my livelihood. This is everything that I do. Everything I want to become a master of the game. So every single day, that's why I have the great team that I do around me as well. Obviously with with this coaching staff too. So obviously having Jake, who played in the National Football League, it's very rare for guys to play in the National Football League and especially play quarterback. And Jake and I were in the same room together and see how his knowledge of the game, his understanding of the game, how he sees it. You know, we may be flying somewhere or whatever it is, and I'm getting badgered and quizzed 2.5 hours straight. You know, so it's great though. It's great because that relentless approach and always understanding, always learning, always looking for more, always studying the film, always doing the extra work. I mean, that's separation. I always say the separation and the preparation. That's what I've always looked for ever since I was young. So to me, it's like having your own swing coach. You know, you get that extra work whenever you get the chance, and you just go over plays and study and film and everything else.
We just saw Kyle Murray sign a huge deal. Lamar Jackson's contract is discussed. Have you given any thought to a possible extension before the season?
I don't really worry about those guys and what they're doing. It's awesome for them. Obviously, Kyler, great for him. Obviously, Lamar, his situation, but it has nothing to really do with me. I'm excited to be here. I know that. I know I want to be here for a long, long time, hopefully the rest of my career. And just, it's been a blessing just to be here with these guys. I mean, to be here with George Payton, he's been amazing to me. Coach Hackett, first class, unbelievable mind, unbelievable way how he leads this football team. The rest of the coaching staff, the players, the organization. You know, this is a tremendous honor. So every day I look at it as treating every day as a new day, and treating every day as just going into it. So that's my focus. That's my sole focus, and winning a Super Bowl for the Denver Broncos and more.
Russell, why is it important for you to spend time with family? You have so much time dedicated to your team. It's important to get away and be able to be with your kids and your wife and spend that time together with
I mean, I think a lot of people talk about balance. You know, everybody says, you know, you got to have balance, you got to have this, you got to have that. I think to be the best in the world at anything, trying to seek that every single day, there is no such thing as balance. I just think there's priorities. And so how do you structure it? The scale weighs differently some days and some days different. But I think the amazing thing about C's and I's relationship in particular is, you know, she works her butt off 24/7. I get to too, and so we get to bond on that, you know, and we share the same wavelength of work ethic and everything else. So I think also too, we make sure we have our date nights and our time together, and then when we get away, travel, you know, the first priority is we always get up, make sure we do our work, working out and everything else, you know, get our throwing in, whatever it may be, and then the rest of the day, and then it may be business, maybe family, maybe whatever it is. But I think that's always been my thought process, you know, is you know, you can still be successful in everything you want to do and still have plans and organization. See, the thing is that there's 24 hours in a day. And how do you choose to use them? Some people choose to go out and do this and that. For me, it's football, it's my family, my faith. It's really about it, you know, and then I would say business too, but that's really about it for me, you know. So I keep my focus small, you know. And I think that anytime you're trying to narrow down something to be really successful at anything, you have to have that narrowed focus, but yet broad perspective. And so I'm just grateful that I get to do life with Sierra and my kids and everything else in this organization. So it's exciting.
Russ, when you say that you have a championship quality,
Say again?
Can fans expect Sierra here at every practice?
I don't know. She's got work to do too. I don't know if she'll be here every practice, but she'll be here a lot. That's for sure.
when you say that you think that this is a championship quality football team, can you give us a sense of what some of the intangibles are that you've identified early enough to make that kind of statement on the first day of practice?
Well, I think to be a championship team, you got to have talent. That's the first thing. We got a lot of talent. I mean, the guys coming in and out, the defensive line, offensive line, the tight ends, the receivers, the defense. I mean, it's so young. I think that's really exciting to be on that kind of level of team. I think the second thing, too, is you got to have knowledge of the game. You know, our knowledge of the game is so far along. It's just the experience that we have on the defensive side, the experience that we have, you know, even on the offensive side, you know, it starts with me just to be able to pass all that knowledge around and for them to take it all in and then to sit in the front of the room and take notes. What I love is how our receivers sit in the front of the room and taking notes and highlighting. And Jerry Jeudy was in our QB meeting for an hour just for fun, just to listen, just to study it and to understand it all. So that's a credit to him and his work ethic. And so when you have guys like that, when your best players put that type of work in, you know, that just rises everybody else to be better. And so it's so great to see that and experience that. And then I think I think the other thing too is you have to have a vision. I think everybody, wants to do big things and everything else, but vision, is great, but if you don't have execution as well. So the balance of those two is really key, and to understand what it takes. And then I think at the end of the day, your mindset's got to be right. We got to have that mindset that no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the scoreboard is, no matter what people are writing, good or bad, right? Because a lot of times you can be on the highest of the highs, right? And so I think to be able to balance that and remain neutral and to not get too high, not get too low, but just keep working, keep putting your head down and keep going. I think that's our mentality, and so we're really doing that. We're learning that every day. We're practicing that every day. We're working at it every day. And that's a great thing about us.
Russell, we've heard a lot about player-led meetings, specifically ones that you have done with the offense over the offseason. How important is that to continue into training camp in the season?
Well, I think anytime you have a great team, a championship team and a winning type team, a team that can go all the way, I think we have the capability of that. I think it's got to be player-led. I think it's got to be the time extra that you spend. And, there's a parameter. If somebody tells you, hey, you got to spend 4 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, with practice, every day, and, are we going to do the extra work as a team to do that, and that's what we're focused on, we're all collectively doing that. And so, and I think the other thing too is we're young still, so for a guy like Montrell Washington, I was here this morning, I was here early and, and I ended up going into the weight room and everything else. And I told him to, hey, we're going to go through this walkthrough early in the morning. They'll spend a little extra time, everything else. He was 15 minutes early just doing his prehab work. That as a rookie, to be able to see that and to be able to show them that and to be able to experience that and continue to encourage them to do that, that's what's going to make the difference for his career and so many other guys. That's just a small example. That's just one. And there's about 35 others today. So that's the exciting part. Guys really want to do right. Guys really want to be the best professionals they can possibly be, and let the work take care of itself. I think the thing about success and everything else, you can look down the road, which is important to have a vision of it, but I think to be so focused on the moment, to get lost in the moment every day, to have that obsession to just get up and do it right over and over and over again, that's the hardest part for people. And I think that we're really training our minds and our brains and our bodies and our spirit for that, and that's really key.
Your teammates have talked about how much fun at practice was today and the energy that Coach Hackett is bringing. What did you see out there your first time?
It felt like a game, to be honest with you. We were getting after it, ones versus ones, just to go back and forth, the speed of it all. And so that's how we practice all, OTAs for the most part. It was just high level. This is why it's great to be here, just because of the high level of practice guys are putting into it. Like I said, anytime you want to be successful, you got to put the work in. There's no magic pill. There's no hidden tricks. There's no nothing. It's just, are you going to do the work? Are you going to do everything it takes? Are you going to sacrifice every day? And that's what we're doing. That's what we've done. And what we did today doesn't mean anything tomorrow. What we did today doesn't mean anything tomorrow. So I'm excited about it. It was so cool to see the fans out here today, too. This is my first time, obviously my first practice. I feel like it was my rookie year all again, but I don't know, I got about 3,475 days of experience on top of it. So it feels all brand new, but yet also something that I feel like I've always dreamed of, just to continue to just do what I love to do. So every day, I get to focus on joy and just loving the game that I get to play. So grateful to be here. Thank you guys so much, and go Broncos. Let's ride.